Did you know that the smallest living thing has huge impact on your life experience? Your environment has the greatest influence on your experiences. If you look in the mirror, you see a single person, but under a microscope, you are actually a massive, bustling civilization. You are made of roughly 50 trillion cells, specialized units that work in perfect harmony to keep you breathing, thinking, and moving. However, these cells aren't just tiny robots following a fixed script. They are more like sensitive antennae constantly listening to and being shaped by the environment around them. Every single little part of you is built from cells. There are over 200 different types, each with a specific job. While each cell contains your entire DNA blueprint, they don't use all of it at once. This is where the environment comes in. For a long time, we believed our health was dictated almost entirely by our genes. Research tells us that's only part of the story. A field called epigenetics shows that our environment acts like a dimmer switch for our genes, turning some up and others down. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a stem cell biologist and author of The Biology of Belief, has pioneered research suggesting that the environment, and our perception of it, is the primary driver of cellular behavior. His work has redefined our understanding of the 50 trillion cells that make up the human body. Dr. Lipton's research challenges genetic determinism, the idea that our genes are a fixed destiny that dictates our health. Instead, he suggests that genes are merely blueprints, and it is the contractor, the environment that decides which blueprints to build. Traditional biology often views the nucleus, where DNA is stored, as the cell's brain. However, Lipton's experiments prove that if you remove the nucleus, a cell can still live and move for months. He concluded that the cell membrane is the true brain. It acts like a liquid crystal processor that senses environmental signals and translates them into biological actions. Lipton often compares the human body to a skin-covered petri dish. In his stem cell research, he found that placing genetically identical cells into different culture method channels caused them to transform into entirely different tissues. For example, method A might turn them into bone cells. Method B might turn them into muscle cells. Method C might turn them into fat cells. Since the DNA was identical, the only variable was the environment. In humans, the culture method for our cells is our blood. Lipton argues that our thoughts and beliefs act as a chemist, changing the composition of our blood. Regarding fear or stress, the brain releases cortisol and inflammatory signals, which can shut down the immune system and inhibit growth. As far as love or peace goes, the brain releases growth hormones and oxytocin, which support cellular repair and vitality. While we cannot change our genetic code, we can change our epigenetic expression by changing our internal and external environments. This shifts the narrative from being a victim of our genes to being an active creator of our health. Nutrition plays a critical role in your development. The molecules from the food you eat provide the raw materials for cell repair and signaling. You must pay attention to stress and emotions. When you're stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol. Your cells feel this chemical shift, which can affect everything from your immune response to how quickly your skin heals. Your physical environment will affect the vibration of your cells in a significant way. Factors like sunlight, air quality, and even the temperature around you trigger cellular reactions. For instance, UV rays tell your skin cells to produce melanin. Because your cells are constantly regenerating, you have a say in the construction of your future self. When you exercise, your muscle cells adapt to the tension. When you sleep, your brain cells literally flush out metabolic waste. By choosing a supportive environment such as good food, movement, and stress management, you are not just feeling better, you are providing a better blueprint for the trillions of tiny inhabitants that make up your physical body to do their best work. You are not a bystander in your own biology. You are the master conductor of this multi-trillion piece orchestra. Every positive thought, every nourishing meal, and every moment of deep, intentional breath sends a signal of safety and growth to your very core. You have the power to step out of the shadow of genetic fate and into a life of active creation. By managing your environment and mastering your mindset, you aren't just changing your mood, you are literally rewriting the chemistry of your life. Believe in your ability to heal, evolve, and thrive because your cells are listening to every word you say.